Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to our session. My name is Akihiko Shirai. I welcome you to today's BOF titles, Metaverse and Interverse Research Development in Seizing and Interactive Techniques. Today we have an international panel talk session composed of Japanese and European CG interactive professionals and Metaverse natives. So they all have the same goal, researching the future of industrial technologies that comes from Japan-related culture. Today, we hope to spark future discussions about the intervals and fill the gap between the established SIGGRAPH community formed around the technical aspect and future researchers living in the metaverse. Hey, today's program as follows. We have the welcome note and today's speaker's introduction. Following, we have four speakers presenting. We will answer our discussion. The concluding the notes from my part. Now let's talk about our speakers. Please, Mira, introduce.
Yes, thank you. Good. So, hi, welcome again. My name is Ludmila. So, again, I will introduce each speaker before we start the presentations. So, the first one up is me. I'm an independent researcher currently in the process of applying for a PhD. Today, I will introduce my role as a Metaverse native and a researcher, present practices in the Japanese Metaverse, and hypothesize about the potential sociocultural implications of navigating the avatar-driven virtual worlds. Our next speaker is Akihiko Shirai. He's the director of GRI VR Studio Laboratory at GRI Inc. and invited professor at Digital Hollywood University, Japan. Today he will present about avatar-driven UX dev and R&D in Reality, a metaverse company which was born from Japan to worldwide. Our next speaker is Yoichi Yamazaki from Kanagawa Institute of Technology and Orelab Inc. Today he will talk about communication robotics for connecting with people. He will present an example of extending human interactions through an alter ego robot using the Meta Avatar Robot Cafe as an example and share his impressions through the in-person exhibition at SIGGRAPH2022. Our final speaker is Masahiko Inami from the University of Tokyo Research Center for Advanced Science and Technology. He's also a long-time contributor at SIGGRAPH and representative researcher in interactive techniques. Today he will present about the Interverse Virtual Reality Challenge. Thank you. All right, so I will start with the first presentation. So hi once again, my name is Ludmila, as I said, and I'm an independent researcher. And I mostly investigate user behaviors, rituals, and latent sociocultural meanings. My goal is to shine a light on practices that enable individuals to find alternatives to hegemonic expectations and norms by hacking them through technology and imagination. So I divided today's talk into three sections. First, I will introduce my role as a Metaverse native and a researcher, answering the question of how to connect high tech and humanity. Then I will briefly present practices in the Japanese Metaverse. Finally, I will conclude today's sessions by discussing my recent findings regarding virtual relationships and men's motivations behind using cute girl characters. So let's begin with the first part. First and foremost, I use an ethnographic approach as it allows for investigating how internet technologies, virtual spaces, and relationships are understood and assimilated, as well as comprehending technology and a particular cultural setting and how they influence and enable each other. Virtual ethnography implies exploring the connection between the virtual and the real, as well as engaging with mediated interactions. So, one of the first things that I always consider as a researcher and a metaverse native is testing the technology and designing my character. Given that all of my research is conducted via my avatar and not my physical self, the way I design my persona impacts communication with potential informers. Second, I find that it's paramount to make intentions transparent. Whenever I start a new study and engage in virtual events, not only as a native but also as an academic, I make clear to those around me. Third, I collaborate with tech professionals. I think it is essential to interview not only those who use the technology, but also those who produce it. I find that such collaborations allow bridging the two worlds, the one between the professional side and the, let's say, the more native side. Actually, the vast majority of my work is conducted online or in virtual reality. and I rarely meet with professionals face to face. In some cases, I have never even seen their real faces, let's say, as I only work with them in the virtual setting. Now I want to introduce some of the recent findings about Japanese metaverse practices and their uses. I'm basing my information on a collaborative project called Social VR Lifestyle Survey 21, conducted in partnership with Virtual Bishojo NEM and my own personal observations. What is interesting to note about this survey is that we have never met face to face and always worked together using our HMD devices and computers, meeting in the Metaverse to discuss a new project or to take cover photos. As for results, we collected 1,069 answers, so it was a quantitative survey from Japanese users to survey their metaverse practices in different platforms. So the majority, 48% and 29%, are in the 20s and 30s, with 89% of users being male. However, out of those 1,069 answers, 78% claimed that they prefer to have an avatar with a feminine appearance. And those were some of the reasons stated. They prefer the visuals, it makes it easier to express oneself and communicate with others, and in some rare cases, users have mentioned gender dysphoria. Although the avatar has feminine appearances, they can be humanoid in 45% of the cases. On the left side, you can see the different types of avatars mentioned. Semi-humanoid, 43%, so it's those with some added elements such as cat ears or tails, and others such as humanoid robots or cyborgs, animals, monsters, or anything else. What is also interesting to note is that 70% of the users use voice technology, such as vocal techniques, voice changers, or text to speech to make their natural voice sound more feminine in some cases. Now that we know a little bit more about the users of the metaverse, I want to briefly present some of their practices. Users meet in VRChat for what is called, for example, virtual drinking parties, or not only in VRChat. There are worlds designed to look like bars or simply as typical drinking streets. Users get together to have a virtual drink while also having a beverage from the comfort of their homes while wearing an HMD. They often mention that they prefer this visual and casual meetup style as it is more immersive than looking at one screen during a video call. On the subject of partying and performing, there's also some specific cafes for people who have mastered different voice techniques which they can show off. One must also not forget that the dance parties where users have fun and join. Others create birthday events where they sing songs and spend time with their friends and followers. Given a growing number of picturesque worlds, it is popular amongst users to tour in groups or as couples, take photos and upload them, for example, on SNS services such as Twitter. An interesting part of the Japanese metaverse is the number of study groups. Users organize themselves around the same academic topic and meet regularly to discuss and present findings. There are also academic events organized in virtual worlds where users present their recent research, be they established academics or amateurs. There's also a practice of VR sleep where users gather together and sleep in the virtual world by wearing their HMD devices at home. They often compare it to a school trip where friends gather together and spend a night in a different environment. There's also seasonal events, and they're an opportunity for world creators and costume creators to design something that is in line with the season or festival and to sell it while users fill their Twitter timelines with photos of themselves celebrating. Finally, we cannot forget about romance. There are matchmaking events and what I call date worlds, where users can meet other users in the pursuit of a romantic relationship. Now I want to go back to what I have mentioned previously about men using cute girl characters. Cute feminine characters visually are overwhelmingly popular in anime and other forms of entertainment, and some men want to enjoy the free spirit that comes with their appearance, made possible with the metaverse. A recently published book mentions that those men who incarnate cute girl characters, for example, as you can see in the photo on the left-hand side, they call themselves Babiniku and claim to want to be cute and lovable. The virtual existence enables them to express their feelings far from sociocultural constraints. Also, users explain that the distance between them is shortened and they can get closer to those around them. As for my own personal findings that I have conducted during my master's dissertations during approximately 2 years, I investigated how Babinico, more specifically men, well, who call themselves Babinico, because there's also women, challenge hegemonic masculinity constraint for technology and cute girl characters. Based on my research, I discovered that their practice presents three major characteristics that are summarized on this slide. First, the technology is deployed to become a cute girl, be it HMD, trackers, everything that goes with it. So then the character design is also paramount for them, as their popularity relies heavily on their appearance, them being virtual entertainers. The second characteristic is the implementation of the desired identity, such as cute movements that are practiced with due diligence to be perceived as their ideal image. The third and final characteristic is the social dimension. By becoming a cute character, my informants told me that they can, quote, form a community and, of quote again, communicate with other people in a different way from everyday life, end of quote. The majority of informants mentioned that men are expected to be strong and not to show emotions while working long hours, while the cute character enables freedom and self-expression. From these three characteristics stems the tactic of becoming a cute girl to temporarily hack certain cultural norms and play. This is a typical example of how technology hacks societal norms by creating alternative ways of being through technology. Of course, that is not the case for the 100% of the individuals, but the informers that I have worked with for 2 years during my master's, in majority have mentioned those three aspects. Now, regarding my latest research, it focuses on virtual partnership and romantic relationships in the metaverse, as always on the Japanese side. Basically, in the beginning, during the social VR lifestyle survey, we discovered that 38% of the 1,069 users that answered have fallen in love within VR chats, and 29% have engaged in romantic relationships with someone they have met in social virtual reality. The phenomenon of affection taking place in a virtual environment through avatars should not be underestimated. It is far from being a rare occurrence, as almost 1/3 of the users have answered yes. The practice is called suga or sato, and it is understood as a sweet relationship. As a jargon, suga avoids bringing, quote, vivid concepts of real-world romance to the virtual worlds, end of quote, and it gives the impression of lightness. The partners are perceived by what they mention as being the atmosphere of a sweet relationship, although not specifically romantic. Couples spend time with their friends, watch videos, attend events, flirt publicly, have a drink with music in a world where they can relax, practice sleeping in VR, and visit virtual worlds where they take photos, a crucial element that enables users to share their cute selfies on SNS. With their bodies extended technologically, based on their personality and behavior, individuals can be perceived as, quote, more feminine or masculine, and of quote, without regards to the, quote, actual gender, end of quote, as such making it secondary or ambiguous, thus placing greater emphasis on the, quote, relationship with each other and not the gender, end of quote. The digital lives with their practices and behaviors find alternatives to hegemonic notions of kinship, producing life as a community through technology and imagination. And that is the highlight of my research is of how users come together as a community and deploy technology in an individual manner to create a specific to them universe that is based on their own values that can be different from those imposed by the society. And on that, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mira.
Let me stop
Do you
sharing
have
the screen.
any questions? If you have, please leave your comment on the Zoom chat. Okay, so thank you, Mira. And I'm going to the next talk. My name is Akihiko Shirai, Director of Reverse Laboratory, and I'd like to talk about the avatar-driven research and UX dev in reality, a metaverse company born in Japan. So Grievous Study Laboratory is the part of the reality company. Then I'm director of this laboratory. And the GRI is founded in 2004. It's a mega venture company in Japan. Now we have 1,600 people working. And here is history. So Degree has founded in 2004, Japan's first mobile social network, and it's the dawn of SNS. With feature phones and small web browsers, and it continued to the mobile game platform, smartphone app games, and since 2015, we have VR content and investment studios. And here is some genre of game in VR since 2015. Character communication, social multiplayer, casual action, mobile, PC, console, location-based VR. So we have plenty of projects that we have done, and such as content. And in 2015, we have make a pivot at virtual explosion. Our company changed the name as Light Flare Live Entertainment, and now on reality. So we also have a series of fishing star since the game started. So we also have several versions, smartphone versions, and also Nintendo Switch version, and also fishing star VR. So it works on Daydream, and also we have our own virtual studio. Kemonos is one of the famous characters. And also we have a live in the Sanrio Festival. So Hello Kitty is a world famous Japanese character. They're organizing virtual YouTuber festivals. So we're part of this. And when you search Metaverse in Japanese, we are sort of top in the Google search. And also we have a vision, Naritai Jiban Dekitiku, so we can be whoever we want. So this is our company vision. And this is a description video of our reality app, virtual live broadcasting. So our metaverse is from not from the headset. Our metaverse is from a smartphone, your smartphone. You can download it via reality.app, and you can create your 3D avatar and on your mobile phone, and mobile phone camera and the radio device can control your avatars in high frame rate over 60 FPS. So as a monetary ecosystem, we have gifting and costume, gacha, and also we have new features over the commerce. Yeah, this is an overview of reality. 10 billion yen investment from Green, and we have huge download and also the very big market existing. For example, the users, the time spent 170 minutes per day. So that means around 3 hours we spent for the reality. This is active user. And here is a 63 country region and 12 languages we supported. So not only Japan, we can feel the worldwide users, not only Japan. And active streamers is very active, and they have their ecosystems. And age group is very interesting. So Gen Z, that means teenagers, high teenagers, and low 20 years. So that is a majority. And also here is various age groups existing. So the function of realities, there are five functions like avatar creation, live streamings. This is core of reality. And also here is watches, like viewing, watching, and also gifting and collaborating. That's communication. And also here is the game functions. Game is also a collaborative game. And here is various event and asset in reality. So every week we have such as a virtual event, costume gacha, costume offers, and there are not only the realistic thing, also make by fantasy, like collaboration with Hello Kitty, or collaborating with anime games, and also here is animal styles. So the not so realistic, but also we can merge the culture like Japanese traditional costumes, make a new asset like kimono. Also, we have a new asset like emote, like that. So that means the tigers, but the emote is a very famous in the culture. So that makes a big purchases actually. Also, here is a new challenge we have. The fishing over. This is a new game titles in the team, Fishing Star VR team is working for the new challenge in the gaming reality app. Now you can play the game using your avatar and can collaborate with your friend. So that's a metaverse from your mobile phone. And also here is the ecosystem, not only gambling, but also to cheering the event or occasions in the not only players, but also watchers. So that's a very interesting challenge. So the project will be released in the next week, August 24th. Please download the reality and try and feel a new metaverse, new interverse in your side. So this is a worldwide release, not only in Japan, and immediately everyone can collaborate in the game. So Gripper Studio Lab is such divisions. So here is a reality platform team and also reality XR cloud team. This is B2B metaverse constructor team, and also we are R&D team. So we support both of them. And here is our vision of metaverse. This is we have proposed. Now the reality is the smartphone app. But we are working to build a metaverse and also the user experience, new user experience, new feel, new UX, new communication, new game, new commerce. So here are a lot of POC project like that, new parties, new assets, and new regulations like NFT. So here is a lot of limitations of the safer commerce ecosystem and also the conventional event collaboration. So that's metaverse we imagine, but not only imagination, but also here is some proposal for B2B market, not only a reality brand. So we think the metaverse needs the people who live, who communicate, who visit, not only the part-time, but also they are living. So the smartphone app reality has 3 hours per day that have a chance. So we can propose the real metaverse platform that have the people live. So we have a program to propose the collaborative program that can build their virtual event. So everyone can enter to the metaverse via reality app, and also here is the actual promotions results work with HIS Japan touristic agents. And also here is a new UX like sitting, like make it emote, like the communication, and also the hyperlink, and also advertising. So that's people do live in reality. So that's the new experience with the people who live in the metaverse. So the reality world is one of the key solutions. Basically, the reality is broadcasting up, but also we have a 3D space, the timer, and also here is a very massive systems. A lot of people can go to the same world at the same time. And also here is the clustering systems. So our vertical development also have our own cluster systems for the broadcasting. So that's a very massive collaboration system as a backend. So that can make the reality world, reality spaces, reality live stage, and the consulting system, and also the massive virtual event. For example, this is the company celebration linked with the company Slack system. So that's one of the examples. So we also have DX consulting, Web3, NFT, and smart app dev. So there are plenty of projects like Metaverse movie shelter project that's already released. And also here is HIS travel world that has 1 million people coming. And so brochure you can enter, that's a very good concept because the broadcasters share the screenshot. So they can amuse with the dolphins, with the field park, and also famous touristic place. So they can all be free, and also it can be make a communication of the sense. So that's a metaverse advertising. Also, we have reality spaces to organize such expo or a job hunting event. And also here is our artist work. So that sells with the new titles. So this is a realistic artist made by photo on the artistic work. So the artist musicians from the new albums released, and we have collaborated to build their sci-fi world and effect. That's just one item. So also we have collaborated with video games. So the Yakuza by Sega. Here is a artist, singers Shona no Kaze. They have they can enter to the world of the Yakuza. Not only the virtual stage, but also you can enter to the Shinjuku area with the effects. So here is the virtual avatar driven metaverse services, and also the R&Ds. Here is our laboratory. So Gripe Studio Laboratory is the R&D team, and so we have lots of POC projects. Not only 3D, but also web 3D, web VR, AR, and also the physical location systems, and also the experimental demonstration in the past SIGGRAPH. It's a SIGGRAPH 2019 in Australia. So here is a student work like internship and long-time research work collaborated with academic professors. This is an example of a virtual gifting for the real artist. And this is a children workshop using a Google Street View system. So that can merge the reality avatars into the photo-based scenes, street views. So you can visit a real place using the touristic simulator, and also this is a COVID workshop online. So here is the latest work. UX Dev, new user experience in Metaverse. This is a look like a music video, but here is one the complete demonstration of UX, user experience development. So imagine you can control your avatars, but also you can play the guitar, you can sing. So imagine this is a karaoke, the new era of the avatar karaoke system, thanks to the AI fusion technologies. So we can generate the music play from the MIDI files and also the merge with your motion capture data. So not only the professional motion capture, but also the computer vision based, smartphone camera based. So, and also we have HMD UX like that. So that can be a new experience in the near future. And also some features like collaborative portals, that's new experiences we are developing, such as new function, new features, new SDK, new development, new component in Metaverse. So this is one of the other activities. Agree support IVRC Interverse VR challenge. Maybe Professor Inami will have a talk. So some graduate student work is in the experienced VR engineers who have challenged in the Japanese student experience in the metaverse. So students propose such as art or technical challenges, and the graduated students working in the Agree, our company, as a game engineers, infrastructure engineers, and also concept design and the product and the service managers. So that's a team. So we create a metaverse with us. So all our company workers have their own avatars and also making the new future as metaverse. So that's my conclusion. So avatar-driven research and UX-driven reality that make a bridge between CG interactive avatar-driven metaverse industry and academic in the context of research and development and human beings. Thank you for listening. So, Mira, could you introduce next speaker?
Yes, so our third speaker is Yoichi Yamazaki from the Kanagawa Institute of Technology and Orilab Inc. And he will talk about communication robotics for connecting with people. He will present an example of extending human interactions through an alter ego robot using the Meta Avatar Robot Cafe as an example and check his impressions through the in-person exhibition at SIGGRAPH Tech. Please, thank you.
So thank you for coming, Professor Yamazaki and Inami. So SIGGRAPH physically just closed. So that's a challenge of us. Okay, ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, please have a talk.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm from Kanagawa Institute of Technology, Japan, and today's my talk is communication robotics for connecting with people. At first, I would like to introduce about Kanagawa Institute of Technology. Kanagawa Institute of Technology is Kanagawa in Japan, and there it is mainly engineering university, and we have several famous architecture, for example, Kite Workshop and Kite Plaza and so on. If you have a chance to visit, let me know. I'll take you to this place, and I'm belonging in the Department of Home Electronics. The mission of our department is creating human and environmentally friendly smart life with leading edge energy home energy management system and next generation home appliances. We have IoT around these centers, and we have open IoT space like a home where there is the kitchen, living room, bedroom, and so on. And in there, we communication robotics lab is working on the development of smart living and smart robotics technology rooted in human understanding in daily life. What is communication robotics? Communication robotics is the research field that comprehensively deal with technology for communicating to people based on robot technology and rooted in human understanding. For example, the grammar creating a grammar of nonverbal expression for robots, like a grammar or a protocol of information systems, and so on. We think the 3C is very important for this field. Communicate, catch for understanding the people, or and connect people to people. Today I will introduce about communicate and connecting people, and especially about the avatars. About the virtual avatar, we prepared this type of virtual avatar. It is called, we call it her, Yamazako-chan, and I use this at the online class. And today I will I intend to prepare this avatar for this session, but unfortunately last night my PC was broken. That's why today I prepared the movie here like that. This character is designed by one of the most cut-edge cartoonist, Nikomi Wakadori, and I use it. I use this avatar on the online class. Escape. And today, I mainly talk about Meta Avatar Robot Cafe, the physical avatar of the robot. This project is collaborative research with our communication robotics laboratory and ORI Laboratory Inc. and major universities. The mission of our project is to solve loneliness through the technology. Especially some people with disability are unable to leave their homes. We turn to work as a solution to solve the loneliness. Working is, of course, meaning earning money, and it is also meaning being connected to society. We have developed two types of avatar robots that can operate via internet and have a realized solution as the avatar robot cafe to work with avatars. This is the movie of the avatar, introduction movie of the avatar robot cafe. In his case, he has a difficulty to go out, and the system enables people who have given up communicate due to disabilities to work from home by operating two types of avatar robots. He is our research collaborator, Ori Yoshifuji, the president of Ori Laboratory. He's the main engineer of Ori Laboratory, and by using this robot, we have opened the cafe where the people with disability remotely work the cafe. Later I skip. Like that. In his case, he used a special controller and to control the avatar robot and talk with customers like that. This robot is controlled by him or her from their home. Okay. The system enable for the operation of the robot. We have interface for according to their difficulties. For example, PC interface or eye tracking interface or and so on. And for the operation of the robot, we have confirmed so that this activity brings social connection, vitality, and solving some part of loneliness to people with disabilities. Some of our results have been published at the conference in this field. And at the SIGGRAPH, we prepared the extension of Avatar Robot Cafe, Meta Avatar Robot Cafe. We sorry, in the SIGGRAPH, we prepared the Meta Avatar Robot Cafe, where a Meta Avatar Robot Cafe provides two types of augmentation body extend systems that enable interaction, and AR avatar that extends the sense of space. This is a movie of the demonstration. For the whole type of robot, it is difficult to control manually. That's why we prepare the automated actions. For example, shaking a hand or and so on. In the case, the shaking hand motion is programmed automatically and reacting the sensor and automatically shaking hand is established like that. Their main contributor of this part, Tsukuto Yamada and Ryoma Kawamura. And in addition to the physical extension, we prepared the VR, AR extension of the robot. The robot has a restriction of the motion because it is hard to, the robot has a limitation because of their physical restrictions. We prepared the AR character. This character can be controlled through the same interface of the robot Orihime. Like that, this in the movie, right part is the control interface of the pilots. Yeah, this is their main contributor of this part, Hiroki Nomura and Nobuaki Hosoda. And next, we moved to the exhibition at the SIGGRAPH. This is the movie of the SIGGRAPH booth, and in the Orihime exhibition, Orihime and customer can be eye contacted like that. In the Orihime is controlled by one of the member of Avatar Robot Cafe, and she is controlled this from Shizuoka Prefecture, Japan. And the next example is a movie is here. This is the AR extension of the Avatar robot, and this is controlled from Australia, and she control Avatar robot and AR avatar like this. This is a sorry. This is not the movie. This is a final part of my presentation. In this case, the this man talked with Orihime with eye contact and eager to listen the speak of Orihime rather than my talk. It is a possibility. It has a possibility. The avatar robot or AR avatar has is appearing rather than a human body. And finally, special thanks is a demonstrator and demo director of SIGGRAPH. 5 pilots from Japan, Australia, and so on attending on the exhibition via Orihime from all over the world, and to volunteer staff and help us. And Genki Hachibashi is the director of the demonstration booth. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The project is work with the DOM, the Avatar Robot Cafe. So it is my Instagram. So I have visited the cafe. So that's very interesting. In the center of Tokyo, here is Avatar Robot Cafe. So it's really working as a commercial. And I have visited with my family. So that's really good experience with my family. So you can find the Instagram with the keyword Avatar Robot Cafe. Avatar Robot Cafe. That yes, this is actually working. So Dawn is located in the center of Tokyo. This is the entrance, and here is a cafe space and open co-working space, and also here is a bar for the night, and the people can enter freely at the cafe. And when you enter, here is the welcome moment and a few people working. And on the screen and on the robot, here is the pilot. Actually, in the behind here is disabled, let's say challenging people who is working behind. So that was really Interverse challenging this week because they are working in Tokyo and also in parallel in Vancouver. Oh, that was a really incredible challenge. Congrats and thank you for your talk. So Professor Inami, ready to go?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello. Yes. Let me share my screen.
Please.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So let me start my talk. I'm Masa Inami. So I'm a professor of University of Tokyo, and I'm also a president of Interverse Virtual Reality Challenge. So today, I'm going to introduce some of our research achievement as well as Interverse Virtual Reality Challenge. And so fortunately, I could physically attend to SIGGRAPH 2022. So my last SIGGRAPH was SIGGRAPH 2019. So I need to wait for 3 years to come to SIGGRAPH in person. So this is famous SIGGRAPH logo, and these are our booth. So many people come to our booth and come to emerging technologies. And we also had electronic theater as well as VR theater. So we really physically enjoyed this experience. Actually, with that physically come to this Vancouver, it's very quite hard to had this kind of experience by you, even if we can use virtual reality. So this is current huge limitation of the current metaverse. And so actually, my first year was 1997. At that time, I was a PhD student. It is more than a quarter century ago. And so after that, with some reason, I really loved to SIGGRAPH, and so I continuously come to SIGGRAPH for around 20 years, except during COVID COVID-19. And so 2017, so fortunately, we received the Best Initial Prize of Emerging Technology 2017, and so it was named MetaRIMS. This is multiple arm interaction metamorphosis. So you are able to control your third or fourth robotic arm by using your legs intuitively. So you need just around 5 minutes training is enough to control this kind of extra arms. And this year, so one of our PhD student submitted accepted emerging technologies. That work is named Some of Brains. Let me show you this movie. The mechanism is very simple. It consists of an infrared stove, infrared heater, plus a mechanical shutter like this. Combination, and so by using this mechanism, we are able to control the perception of heat almost in real time. And the point is combining this technology to this type of screen, the mesh screen. So you can feel this is somehow cross-modal effect. So thanks to this system, so your experience of image can be drastically changed. And so we also had another type of interaction. So by using the eye tracking mechanism, based on his eye gaze, where he saw, so we can also control this emission, thermal emission. Then it can also enhance your experience of watching movies or maybe watching food TV or something. So this method is quite simple but effective. This is the point of our current achievement. So we might combine this with this kind of online chat. So if you had an opportunity to come to emerging technology venue in SIGGRAPH, so you might know the venue is so cold, so too strong air conditions. Actually, so the side effect of this installation was, so many people come to our booth even not to get heat. So under quite strong ACs. And actually, so our laboratory has developed human-machine integrated technologies, such as the third and fourth arms. In this case, so these arms can be controlled with his shoulder motion. And so our group also developed the sixth finger, which can control with EMG, electromyogram. And so in this case, so we are able to build a sort of combined avatar. The center person, the motion of the center person is actually totally average motion of right person and the left person. And so with some reason, so the users can control this average avatars much precise and much fast. And so the fourth type is so this is somehow the work is called multi-soma. So this is we are able to split some users avatars to four avatars like this. And so by providing splitted image to the user, a four splitted image to the user, so after several trainings, the user can also control the four avatars. And so each avatar can do some different tasks. So this is our current research interest. So why we have developed, or why we considered to develop this type of several type of human-machine integrated technology was to expand our so our life, not only in our real world, but also so the metaverse or virtual world. So only one body is not enough to enjoy so a multiverse. So we have also developed so special training system which can use metaverse. But actually, so this is in order to train kendama. Kendama is a cup and ball juggling, Japanese juggling. And so the point is that so this is so we usually use metaverse or virtual reality as a simulator or training simulator. So which so designed to precisely copy physical world. But unlike normal physical simulator, so our student, so now he has started a company that is Immaculate. So he has developed this has somehow slow motion reality. And so by thanks to slow motion reality, a user, even if nervous user can so get exercise much precisely and much smoothly. And then so we slightly change the speed of time. So and finally, speed is almost equal to in real world. So this is an example. It's me. Now I'm training in slow motion reality. And finally, so with 5 minutes training is enough to acquire so this kind of skill. So we can say so metaverse can contribute to accelerate our learning speed of skills. And so based on this kind of knowledge, so maybe it's time to establish new type of sports. Then so in 2013, so I proposed so superhuman sports by using human-machine integration technology to establish new type of sports. This is so maybe so now so esports is getting very popular, but esports is mostly the sports which moves only fingers. But so superhuman sports, we can say that is a sort of physical esports in metaverse or XR. So we established these professors and so many athletes and game designers. And now, so we already had more than, this is August, in this summer, more than 31 superhuman official games appeared. So let me show you some example of ours. So now, so 9 of 31 superhuman sports appears, or it can choose as appeared at the Tokyo Tower. So it can be choose as exhibition of esports park, which was established inside Tokyo Tower. You have opportunity to come to Tokyo, so please come to this place. So you are able to enjoy our superhuman sports. And finally, so let me introduce you so Interverse Virtual Reality Challenge. So as Dr. Shirai mentioned, so we have organized so IVRC, so this kind of event. And so it was also organized by the Virtual Reality Society of Japan, and so supported by Japanese multi-ministries of Japan. And so it was originally established, it was originally the acronym of Intercollegiate Virtual Reality Contest, and so which has been held since 1993. And actually, so I myself was the first winner of IVRC held in 1993. It was at that time I was undergraduate student. And so we have developed FES, or that is EMS, electromagnetic muscle stimulation based haptic display. And so we also issued the first patent. And so fortunately, so we received the first place and technology award. And then I made decision to join to the virtual reality research area. And actually, the name of the meaning of IVRC's I was changed. So initially it was intercollegiate, so 1993, and in 2002 we changed intercollegiate to interaction, and then from 2004 it also can be changed. It was changed international collegiate, and finally in 2020, that is just start point of COVID-19, we made decision to use Interverse instead of international collegiate. And because that is much important than, so how to say, conventional international. So we believe, so metaverse is not meta-universe. So metaverse must have so multiverse. So we can say, so we will have so multi-metaverse in near future. We don't visit only one metaverse. Then, and so each multiverse or each metaverse has different culture or different phenomena or different people. That's why we change the name of IVRC was, so we thought, okay, so in your future, so just, so how to say, international language skill people, so educating, so international language skill people is important. But in your future, we also need to educate or develop, so interverse talent. So by using this type of contest, then we changed the name. Now actually, so IVRC already had so strong activities at SIGGRAPH Emerging Technologies from 2003. So from 2003, 4, 5, and 6, we continued some winners or final members of IVRC were accepted to SIGGRAPH Emerging Technologies. And so 7, 8, 9, 10th, 11th, and so in 2015, so childhood was accepted. It was the last ATEC work which was accepted to SIGGRAPH Emerging Technologies. However, so this childhood was so strong, was widely appreciated among multi-conferences, not only SIGGRAPH. So it received a Grand Prix and the Laboratory Award in 2014. It was IVRC, and next year it was accepted at ETEC, and 2017, so a part of their work was also accepted of ETEC. And surprisingly, in 2019, so the first was published full paper at CHI, and it received honorable mention award. And in 2020, they received Best Paper Award. So they really, their activity is quite high. And this year, fortunately, so we had IVRC work in SIGGRAPH, not emerging technologies, but art galleries. So which name is ImaGraph. So let me show you this video. So fortunately, this work was quite popular among SIGGRAPH attendees. So actually, so by using displays, LED panels, and so optical fibers, so even if you are closing your eyes, so you can so see some moving image through your I did. It can redefine the meaning of seeing. So we had ticketing system, but first several minutes, most of ticket was sold out. Okay, so let me conclude my talk. So now, actually, in near future, IVRC had sent lot of international researchers related to virtual reality world, and we believe in near future we can also provide Interverse students, students who have Interverse skills. I believe. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Inami-sensei. So actually, my first SIGGRAPH was 1998. So we met Inami-sensei in SIGGRAPH. So that's her legend. So, and also, please, thanks to mention about student activities. And also, we are collaborating with the Lab Virtual in France. So actually, the Yoichi Yamazaki Meta Robot Avatar project was awarded in last Lab Virtual in April. So in parallel, I'm also the ambassador of Lab Virtual. So we are selecting the winner from SIGGRAPH eTech and going to the next Lab Virtual 2023. So thanks again for the four speakers, and we are going to the discussion, and also here is some questions from the audience. So from Lin-san, in your experience is Metaverse VR adaptation and environment in Japan friendly for to foreigners? To what event the real life in Japan needs an understanding of the Japanese culture and the Japanese mind reality? So that might be question for Mira. Can you have answers, please?
Yes, of course. From my personal experience and from what people that I have interacted with told me, the environment is very friendly to foreigners, very welcoming, of course. And to what extent does it need the understanding of Japanese culture and mind? I would say if you want to research the Japanese metaverse, you do need some basic understanding of Japanese culture, of course, because it's the case of when you research any specific geographic location, it is better to know some basic sociocultural specificities. It is not, of course, required to enjoy the metaverse as it is open to everyone, even if it's mostly the Japanese part of the metaverse. For regarding Japanese mind, I do not think that is a requirement, as once you have a basic understanding of the culture, you can kind of understand why certain actions are undertaken by individuals. But that's mostly if you do research. Otherwise, it is very friendly, it is very open, and it is very fun. That's it. Thank you.
So that thank you, Mira. So and also that's a good question for me actually. So in VR chat, here is some frictions between Japanese culture and European or some foreign cultures. So for example, that's typical thing. So Japanese don't prefer open public world. So that's interesting. So in open public world, might be the beginners of VR chat will be entered to the open public world, but it's a sort of public toilet in the most better word, I think. So for example, here is no regulations, no manners. Actually, here is a regulation and manners, but we have Japanese also have different social distances, like in Western culture, for example, in France, we do kissing, hugging, like under 1 meter private distance. But for the Japanese, 1 meter is one of the killing distance with the sword. So that's a typical cultural differences, and the Japanese prefer to have a private world to the deeper communications. And the other thing, we companies use reality, so that's smartphone-based applications. This is a completely different thing, but my suggestion, it's not the same as Twitter or YouTube communications. So the metaverse communication might be closer and smaller, not like a few hundred people in same time, maybe 5 to 10 people in same time. So that's a key point. So do you have any answers or opinion about this question? 余一、稲見先生、なんかもしあれば。
I won't get this top point, but so one unique point was one professor in US established the Japanese learning course in Metaverse of Tokyo. So that is much easier to understand. So atmosphere or some situation. So, okay, so let's say how to take JR train in Tokyo or how to buy Suica in Tokyo by using Metaverse. So this is also a good opportunity to accept some international people. And now it is not enough, but so in near future, so of course we are able to use machine translation system inside such kind of system. It allows us much easier to communicate each other. So like chat in games.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I go to the next questions from Shinji Hara from Kagawa School of Management, Graduate School of Management. Thank you for your question. I have some questions for Shirai-san. After Metaverse event, do you have a real meaning of Kai? And the second question, do you have a Metaverse project including a visit to anime hall replace Seiichi Junrei? That's a good question. And I wonder if your technology can be applied to our education in business school. Is there a possibility of collaboration? Thank you for your question. So the first point, yes, after the metaverse, so do you have a real meeting of Kai? So that's other, we are planning just this month, RealityCon, so RealityCon is it's a convention event. That's an offline event organized in 27 August. So that is outline. So it's a ticket-based, invitation-based event. And here is stage content and avatar signage, interactive signage. You can visualize your avatars in real time. So that's a real Interverse mirror. And here is a real gift photo spot corner. So we realize the physical asset like gifting, like teddy bear or massive tower or engagement ring. So you can have a real gifting and also fun art. So here is plenty of the fun art on Twitter. So we have a gallery for that. And here is the new function, reality history function. And also here is the service history since released 2018, message board, game corners, and the reality shop, and the merchandises. So that's a convention. So actually we designed this experience as a real space experience and also the bigger engagement event, not only a smartphone, and but also in the real world, and also it will have a new stage of the metaverse, Interverse. So, but unfortunately, in COVID, it's coming in Japan. So that's just scary, but maybe challenging. And also, we are challenging to execute this event in the all over the world. So thank you for your attending. And for the question, and the second question is the Seichi Junrei. Seichi Junrei is visiting an anime holy place. That's a great suggestion. Actually, reality is not only a big city, not only Tokyo. So we are organizing a virtual event in every big cities, not too much big. So for example, here is a big signage in the front of the station. So the station have people, and we can visualize the winner. So and here is one example. This is one understandable case. So this is a popular yakiniku chain introduced VTuber meets delivery robot as a stop. So she is a winner of the reality event, and Hoshizora Natsuno, and also here is the winners, and they can present into the avatar robot. Actually, this is a delivery robot, the autonomous supportive robot in the yakiniku, the barbecue restaurant. And actually, this is the Interverse engagement. So a lot of people who love the broadcasters, and they want to meet in the meet. So that's funny. So I also visited the place. Actually, this is an experimental event organized by the Yakiniku Watami, and it is possible to organize each countries, each regions. And also one thing, it's very not possible in the public, but maybe good story to have a possibility of Interverse. So here is a broadcaster, very not too much famous, but famous broadcaster in reality. She was alone actually. So she had stopped to work, stopped to study. So she was alone in the home. So once she had started to reality, and she became a big broadcaster, and get win in the competition in the local signage event. So when her visuals appreciate onto the signage, their parents recognize her activities, and the parents said, "Oh my, oh my daughter." So that's recognize you are actually working and making the relationship with the society. So that's one good story, because she was alone in the home. Maybe she had some friction or accident in the society, but she was alone in the home. But after getting in this event, their parents, their family understand that she is working in Metaverse. That's a great opportunities. So we also have a big signage event like Shinagawa, Shinjuku, Roppongi, but the small city also have a chance. That's a very interesting. And there's the third point. Um, yes, the second one, the Metaverse project. Yes, actually, we have already released HIS, and also here is our Yakiniku Watami, and also some. Sorry, I have to. Yes, here is a big collaboration, but not released. Please watch reality. Every week we have a big event, and the third one. So yes, we have an internship like that. So sorry in Japanese. So here is an internship or student part-time workers for the business development product managers positions. So that is open position, and they can work in on distance remotely. So this is welcome. Please subscribe and share in your laboratory. So here is one other question from Ishikawa Kenta. In VR chat, 89% male. Okay, that's It's from Mira. Can you answer to the question?
I think the reason could be because for VRChat, you need a PC, right? You can't use the environment from your smartphone, whereas reality is smartphone based. So I think it's a different population. Also, there's also a question of different generations. Whilst VRChat was mostly people in the 20s, 30s who were using it, amongst the majority of the population. Reality is mostly used on smartphone by the Gen Z, so in their late teens, very early 20s. So there's also a question of different age groups and also of the practices of those different age groups. And I think the medium that is on which the platforms are used themselves, because reality is on the smartphone, and VRChat is on the computer screen. So I think it also shows contemporary practices of young adults of the Gen Zs, as they tend to prefer, especially amongst women, clearly the smartphone.
Thank you. So that's good explication. Actually, yes, that's a strategy of us. So the smartphone is the main device, and also typically GPU is high performance actually. So we have tried WebExcel editions, but for the computers, it's less performance as a current mobile phone actually. And imagine here is 8, 10 avatars in the same time. So can your computer render such as high quality avatars in the same time? So the smartphone is the best device actually. So there's like Oculus is also high performance, but also it have a very limited computer graphics executed. And then for the age group, yes, the female. So that's the typical characteristic of reality. So the female, so they love costume. So avatar-driven metaverse is one of the key of our strategy. So the boys, girls, so the toy, as my research is 1 year old, 2 years old children, actually the baby infancy, they recognize their preferred toy. So the girls prefer the dolls, costumes, and boys, they love car or trains. That's an interesting thing. Here is a lot of such research, media research, and infancy research, and development research. So you can find relative scientific research in this effect. But maybe age or sexuality, the genders in the roles is very complicated. So sometimes Mira or some the researchers or not professional researchers, they have some interesting statistics. So, but it's a new field of research. Okay, okay, let's go to the panel session, conclusion session. So please turn on your microphone, Yoichi and Inami. And I have prepared some discussions. So what is what I felt in SIGGRAPH in Vancouver? じゃあ、稲見先生どうぞ。
I actually, I have already talked about my impression during my talk. Yes. Yes.
That was good?
Yes.
So what is your best food in Vancouver this year?
Yeah, actually, so due to COVID-19, so I don't go to such kind of party. Yes. I really take care of my health.
Okay.
And, yes. That's right. So this year, so we don't have technical paper fast forward. Also, we don't have, of course, we don't have a reception at all. That's why maybe SIGGRAPH it's not perfect SIGGRAPH, good old SIGGRAPH this time, but hybrid.
That's interesting. So the SIGGRAPH has a lot of networking events. So drinking and networking party is one of the most important engagement event for us, and also it establishes the culture of SIGGRAPH.
Yeah,
But,
that is networking is most important point of this kind of international conferences. However, so as you might know, so some huge international conferences already had some cluster of COVID-19. So maybe so in some case, 30% of attendees got COVID-19, or some laboratory got so 50% of attendee was COVID-19 positive. This is still challenging to have such kind of social event, unfortunately.
So very taking care for the controlling condition, and also surveying for the PCR to welcome back to Japan. So what about you, Yoichi?
This is the first time to attend the SIGGRAPH for us, and I didn't know there is so many social events. But and in this time there is not social event, and but the management of SIGGRAPH is very comfortable for us, and many staff support to us every day. And especially the student volunteer is very helpful for our exhibitions.
That's true, but so 50% true. So what can we say is actually 3 years is too long to forget some know-hows to manage so installations or student volunteers, unfortunately. So they somehow lost some management skill of experience hall, unfortunately. So not only student volunteers, but also ourselves, our students are similar. So we had no opportunity to come to this kind of physical demonstration or physical installations overseas. So our laboratory also mostly forgot also know how we transport our equipment or maybe tax issues or blah blah blah.
Yes, so 3 years is enough to forget.
Yeah, enough to forget. And so we need to do many things, such as COVID-19 tests before return to Japan, or some complicated application.
Vaccination.
Vaccination, and so blah blah blah. so many things to consider. And so actually, I need to say, so one of our students unable to come to SIGGRAPH due to COVID-19 before traveling. So it was also sad story.
So I'd like to ask to your student, Inami Sensei and Yamazaki Sensei, maybe student is excited, or they are already experienced the overseas trip, or it's the first time? So is enjoying or scaring? So tell me.
Actually, this is their first time after COVID-19 era. And so they are really excited and really enjoyed.
Very risky.
Physical, yeah. but very risky, yes.
So have they enjoyed Clamchowder already?
Not sure.
About Yamazaki Sensei, your student?
Our student, for them, this is the first time to go abroad, and that's why very exciting for them. And they can make many good friends in here at SIGGRAPH. And we have not tried the clam chowder yet. Maybe tomorrow we have a chance to take it.
Okay, take care. Okay, thank you very much. So if you have any discussions, because the time is over, so if you have any valuable comment about later questions, like difficulty meeting a hybrid conference, and where and what is the best of Expo, and what is the future Interverse research. So please, okay, go Yamazaki Sensei and Inami Sensei and Mira and myself. Okay, please, Yamazaki Sensei.
Sorry.
じゃあ、OK, next, じゃあ、Inami Sensei.
Yeah, I think so. Hybrid conference is still challenging, quite challenging. Maybe so online people, so presence of online people is limited, totally limited. So that's why maybe 100% online conference, even if 100% online conference was succeeded, hybrid conference is not suitable for online people. However, also many people who are unable to come to Canada or Vancouver physically could partially attend to SIGGRAPH. That is also a good point of hybrid conference.
Thank you
But
very
I
much.
strongly recommend to come in physically. For you have to maybe so one of the most popular work at ETech was so HDR HMD developed by Meta. How do we transfer the experience of HDR through normal display? This is one quite huge limitation, I think.
Great recommendation. Thank you for your feedback as a professional reviewing. That's valuable. So what is the next challenge for you? Next SIGGRAPH ETech or next SIGGRAPH Asia or in Japan? Or tell me your next target of the expo place.
Maybe Yamazaki Sensei.
Okay, Yamazaki Sensei.
Next challenge?
Yes.
Or the difficulty of the hybrid conference, and so that is directly connected to our research target because we use the avatar robot that is the physical avatar, and we think it is important to meet physically and feel the reaction in front of the people. It is very important, and I think the intermediate of the virtual and real, we need intermediate media between real and virtual, like avatar robot and so on.
Okay, so maybe in Tokyo in the Avatar Robot Cafe Dome, you can test it and you can play it. So please visit Tokyo. So Mira, do you have any short comment, please?
Regarding the last question?
Or to be concluded, the time is up.
I just wanted to say thank you to all of our speakers. It was great to have also impressions directly from SIGGRAPH for those who couldn't attend. I think it is, now that we have started research in Metaverse, it is even more valuable to conduct future research about Interverse and share our findings from different cultural and societal perspectives so we can learn more from each other.
So please turn on your camera, wear your mask off for 1 second to take a screenshot, and see you again in somewhere in the Interverse. Thank you very much.
Thank you
very much
very
for
much.
your all participants. See you.
See you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you, speakers. ありがとうございます。じゃあ、ご無事にお帰りください。
Thank you very much for coming. So thank you for organizing so
Thank
this
you.
session. Thank you very much. So Dr. Shirai.
You're welcome. ありがとうございます。配信終了します。
Thank you very much.
ご無事にお帰りください。それでは、Thank you for your participating
Thank you.
and have a great weekend. Thank you, Mira.
Thank you.
山崎先生、お疲れ様でした。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。
お疲れ様。
Thank you.